reap the benefits of the sage advice and counsel of the two first ladies of the branch, and for some time, First Lady of Fort Sill. We are just thankful that we've had the opportunity to serve with you. Whether it was with the student spouse seminar, and I had the opportunity to go to that. That is a very interesting group of people. But these ladies handle it with class, and the mentorship that they provide to that group of ladies, the younger spouses, has just been invaluable during their tenure here. To the tour of homes, they open up their houses for the Lawton Fort Sill community to go through and just look at everything, put their paws on everything, and it's just been, it takes a lot of patience, and I know that. And then to the community partnerships, all of the community events that both of you have had the opportunity to participate in to strengthen our bond with Team Lawton Fort Sill has been awesome. And we couldn't thank you more. But most importantly, you are standing behind your spouse. And I know that I demand a lot of them. I know that the Army and the Department of Defense demand a lot of your spouse. I know they would not be there where they are today without you. And so, on behalf of the entire Department of Defense, thank you. We just appreciate everything you do. Oh, by the way, you have to take care of your children, which is no easy task, and everybody out here knows that. But the ability to maintain the work-life balance of these ladies is just insane. And so we're thankful that you're able to do that and do it with ease, frankly. And so, Sergeant Major is actually on leave today, but on behalf of Sergeant Major, Mr. Gallagher, and myself, we'd like to just present you with a few tokens of appreciation to say thank you. And Sergeant Major to say this, and $5.79 will get you a grande white mocha at Starbucks, but it's the least we can offer to say thank you. And so with that, I'm going to let the team read these and go from there. Go ahead.
Attention to orders. The Meritorious Public Service Medal is awarded to Mrs. Katie Morgan for extraordinary service to the United States Field Artillery School from July 22 to May 2024. Mrs. Morgan's dedicated service and unselfish contribution of her time, energy, and talent in support of the soldiers and families of Fort Sill community will make a lasting impact for years to come. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, Commandant. The Order of the Red Legacy is presented to Mrs. Katie Morgan with grateful appreciation for the impact you made on the Lawton Fort Sill community. Signed, Neil H. Sartain, Command Sergeant Major of the U.S. Army Fire Center of Excellence, and Winston P. Brooks, Major General, Commanding. The Twilight Toll is presented to Mrs. Katie Morgan in recognition of your exceptional support and sincere contributions to the Combined Arms Center in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Signed, Milford H. Beagle, Lieutenant General, Commanding. The Governor's Commendation is presented to Mrs. Katie Morgan for your sacrifice as a distinguished military spouse as you stand alongside your service member and keep our military strong. Signed, Kevin J. Smith, Governor of Oklahoma.
Major General Commandant. The Order of the Red Legacy is presented to Mrs. Kimberly King with grateful appreciation for the impact you made on the Lawton and Fort Sill community. Signed, Nell H. Sartain, Command Sergeant Major of the United States Army Fire Center of Excellence, and Winston P. Brooks, Major General Commanding. The Twilight Toll is presented to Mrs. Kimberly King in recognition of her exceptional support and sincere contributions to the Combined Arms Center in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Signed, Milford A. Beagle, Lieutenant General Commanding. The Governor's commendation is presented to Mrs. Kimberly King for your sacrifice as a distinguished military spouse.
Alright, I'm going to be brief in my comments here because I'll talk a little more about them in my remarks. But I'll just give you the bottom line. I couldn't do what I do without the general officer of this post. And I see Rory back there as well. This is probably the busiest post of all the centers of excellence in the Army because of everything that is going on with the modernization, the transformation, and really everything that we do here every day. I lean on the general officers here on this post. And I lean on them heavy. And I send them to places, not that I don't want to go to, but that I can't go to because I'm in another. But these two general officers have been awesome. I'm going to miss them, but they're the Army's game. As he goes off to the Pentagon and keeps everything straight for us in the Pentagon, and he goes off to Eastern Europe and takes care and keeps everything quiet over in Eastern Europe. It's going to be awesome. And we're excited for both the Morgan and King families, and I've been proud to serve with both of them. So we're going to pin a medal on them, and then I'll give them the opportunity to say something up there. If it's okay after the ceremony, they got TV interviews too. So. Okay, so publish yours.
Attention to orders. The Legion of Merit is being presented to Brigadier General Shane P. Morgan for exceptional meritorious service from 9 August 2022 to 14 July 2024 as Commandant of the United States Army Field Artillery School. Brigadier General Morgan's dedication, vision, and leadership greatly contributed to the readiness and capabilities of present and future field artillery leaders. Signed, Gary M. Brito, General U.S. Army, Commanding.
The Legion of Merit is being presented to Brigadier General Curtis W. King for exceptional meritorious service from 7 July 2022 to 22 May 2024. As the Commandant of the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School, Brigadier General King's dedication, vision, and leadership greatly contributed to the readiness and capabilities of present and future air defense artillery leaders. Signed, Gary M. Brito, General, U.S. Army Commandant.
Alright, I think that's it. Let's take just a few minutes to reset, get in the shade if you can, and we'll get the ceremony rocking.
Great job, Sarah.
More work for you. Right? Hey, Gary.
Test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know I'll see you guys in the line. Congratulations.
Tripped over Texas. That's what we do for Sill. You got it? I have it.
Test, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. We ask that all photographers remain behind the first row of chairs, and that all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Phil Brooks, the Commanding General of the United States Army Fire Center of Excellence at Fort Sill, welcome to this afternoon's Relinquishment of Responsibility and Retreat ceremony. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories, honor comrades in arms, and celebrate special occasions as we are doing today. These ceremonies add color and pageantry to military life and preserve traditions and sustain an esprit de corps. Today, we are bidding farewell to Brigadier General Shane Morgan and Brigadier General Curtis King as they relinquish their duties as the Commandants for the United States Army Field Artillery School and the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School, respectively, and Deputy Commanding Generals for the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill. At this time, we'd like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Joining us this afternoon are Major General Phil Brooks and his wife Lori, the Honorable Mayor Stan Booker, Mr. Joe Gallagher and his wife Luann, Brigadier General Shane Morgan and his wife Katie, Command Sergeant Major Paul Fluharty, Brigadier General Curtis King and his wife Kim, Command Sergeant Major Giancarlo Macri, Brigadier General Brian Werksler, Brigadier General Rory Crooks and his wife Lisa, Miss Megan Hankins, Councilman Kelly Harris, Councilwoman Shireen L. Williams, Colonel Promotable William Parker, and our frontier friends, Colonel Retired Nate Slate, Mr. Craig and Janie Billingsley, Miss Karen Bailey, and Mr. Barry Ezerski. For the sequence of events, please refer to your program. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation presented by Chaplain Garloff.
Let us pray. Father God, I give you thanks for a great day. Lord, I thank you for both Brigadier General King and Brigadier General Morgan. We are grateful for the leadership they have provided to the soldiers of Fort Sill. We recognize their incredible impact across the air defense and artillery branches. For their faithful and honorable service as commandants of these noble schools, I pray your richest blessings and favor over these men and their families. I ask that your spirit go before them and prosper their every future endeavor. Lord, bless the day, the ceremony, and all your people who serve here at the Fire Center of Excellence. In your most holy name I pray. Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, Staff Sergeant Dew and Specialist Carter of the Fort Sill Artillery Half Section are presenting a dozen red roses to Mrs. Morgan and Mrs. King in appreciation of their selfless service and support to the Field Artillery and Air Defense Artillery Schools, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the Lawton Fort Sill community. Participating in today's ceremony are the Pride of Fort Sill, the 77th United States Army Band, under the direction of Staff Sergeant Grant Boyd. The installation color guard, provided by the 428th Field Artillery Brigade. The color sergeant is Drill Sergeant Moises Aguilar. The installation flag detail, provided by the 75th Field Artillery Brigade. The non-commissioned officer in charge is Sergeant First Class Alvin Herb. The Fort Sill Salute Battery, Bravo Battery, 2nd Field Artillery, under the direction of Captain Jada McCollum. The Honor Guard Commander for today's ceremony is Captain Monica Romero, Commander, Headquarters Detachment, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill.
Detachment! Attention!
The official party for today's ceremony is Major General Brooks, Brigadier General Morgan, and Brigadier General King.
Detachment! Present arms!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of honors to Major General Brooks. Please be seated.
Order! Arms! Parade! Rest!
The relinquishment of responsibility is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the ceremony is the passing of the colors. The very soul of a military unit is symbolized in the colors under which it fights, for they represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major, who is a senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the Commandant. In recognition of their essential roles, the success of the Field Artillery and Air Defense Artillery Schools, Command Sergeant Major Fluharty and Sergeant Major Ruprecht will now assist in the relinquishment of responsibilities. The passing of the organizational colors symbolizes the relinquishment of responsibility and authority from the outgoing Commandant. Brigadier General Shane Morgan, having served faithfully and with distinction, you are hereby relieved of your responsibility as the Commandant for the United States Army Field Artillery School and Deputy Commanding General for the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill effective 22 May 2024. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion to the United States Army Field Artillery School. Your leadership to the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers has been of the highest quality. Brigadier General Curtis King, having served faithfully and with distinction, you are hereby relieved of your responsibility as the Commandant for the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School and Deputy Commanding General for the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, effective 22 May 2024. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion to the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School. Your leadership to the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers has been of the highest quality. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Bill Brooks.
Pretty good there. Hey, first let me again just say thanks to our tribal partners. The ceremony before this was magnificent. So thank you for your continued partnership with us. But good afternoon, distinguished guests. I know Marty covered all of them in the beginning, but family and friends of Team Log Fort Sill, thank you for attending today's ceremony, whether you're here in person or you're live streaming here. But before I begin, let's take a moment and recognize our Fort Sill half section folks that handed out the flowers today, the 77th Army Band, our salute battery, and the color guard. Please join me in a round of applause. So firstly, I'd like to welcome both the King and the Morgan families on what Gloria and I would consider a bittersweet day. But here today from the King family, we have Kim, of course, and their sons Tate and Hayden. Now here's an interesting fact that probably nobody knows except me and Lord. But Kurt King is an avid pickleball player. And Tate and Hayden are the only people on this post that beat Kurt King routinely in pickleball. And Lori and I can attest to that. We've seen it with our own eyes over there in front of the Patriot Club. So keep it up. Keep up the great work. And from the Morgan family, we have Katie and Foster and the rest of the Morgan clans watching via live stream. Now I'll tell you, Shane and Katie often post a lot of Foster's ball games on social media. But there's one post that you'll never see if you're friends with either Katie or Shane that I have seen out here when Shane is practicing with Foster. But Foster routinely strikes out Shane when they're practicing baseball. But he'll never put that one on Facebook, so you hold him to it, Foster. But keep up the great work. So those are the things that make you go, But before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about what Kim and Katie have meant to our community for over the last 2 years. And to Kim and Katie, thank you again for your participation, support in multiple areas, both here on the installation and outside in our local community. Most notably, our Student Spouse Seminar program that you have been heavily participating in, our tour of homes, and your community friendships. Thanks also for your continued love and support for the two fine leaders that are here today. So thank you very much. So guys, let me just cut to the chase. What you and your teams have done over the last 2 years has simply been exceptional. You're the leading edge of an unprecedented growth, modernization, transformation, and prioritization of the Army's two greatest branches, the Air Defense Artillery and the Field Artillery, and I cannot overstate your accomplishment and your impact on the entire fires community. The threats presented by our adversaries in the Indo-Pacific, Eastern Europe, and CENTCOM areas of responsibility have oriented our entire Army towards a force that is much more reliant on the offensive and defensive capabilities at range and scale that only the Fires Force can provide. As the Commandants, the proponents of the branch, you are the doctrine, organization, training, material developers, leader developers, personnel facilities, and policy integrators. You've had the heavy task of informing the modernization efforts of our Army Futures Command teammates, driving the doctrines and programs of instruction to train our force, and overseeing the manning and talent management to drive our force forward. As we continue delivering the Army of 2030 and the design of Army 2040, we rely heavily on our Commandant teams to identify structure and guide an incredibly complex portfolio of advanced warfighting technologies and equipment, which is vital to large-scale combat survivability and success to the entire joint force. It takes a team of highly skilled technical experts and leaders to guide and inform those processes to fruition. You also match the personnel management, doctrine, and training to meet the demands and needs of our organizations and their respective material and equipment. As the Deputy Commanding Generals here at Fort Sill, you've assisted me in our most sacred duty as senior leaders, taking care of the soldiers, Marines, airmen, civilians, and the families of Team Log and Fort Sill. And Lori and I want to thank you for your continuous help and support. Kurt, I had the team do some digging and come to find out you don't even have an official call sign. Well, we can't have that. And I learned that a lot of mythical, featherless, flightless bird that flies backwards. So in the spirit of that majestic creature, I'll just refer to you as Ouzel Finch 6. Now, Kurt, you've led one of our most compact but highest demand branches with a near overwhelming operational tempo. The fabric of our air defense force has been tested in nearly every combatant command, and your leadership from the heart of the branch has made an immeasurable difference in sustaining and now growing the branch to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. A once underappreciated branch is now getting more attention than it would probably like, but for all of the right reasons. The soldiers of the Air Defense Artillery have shown us how important and effective layered ground-based aerial defense is in protecting key infrastructure and supporting our freedom of maneuver. And many of you may have seen the successes in the recent weeks. So because of this, we're seeing new formations and new technology coming to the Air Defense Force. The introduction of non-kinetic technology, such as our layered and high-power microwaves, have incredible potential and are already seeing real-world operational experience. The reintroduction of the Maneuver SHORAD, development of the Integrated Battle Command System, the Indirect Fire Protection Capability, and the creation of the Joint Counter UAS University are just a few of the incredible accomplishments you have spearheaded during your tenure here. I know the Army and the Joint Force are even more comfortable with the future of the air defense because of your great leadership. We're sad to see you and Kim depart, but we're excited to see what you have in store for the 10th AAMDC, deployed across Europe and Africa. And I'm more than confident that the Army has picked the right man for the job, and we wish you all the best. Brigadier General Morgan, you do have a call sign, Red Leg 6. Like Kurt, you too have led your branch into a time of unprecedented change and modernization. The cross cannon signal has been lit, calling the king of battle back to the throne. Events in Eastern Europe and investments by our adversaries have made it clear we must have a dominant field artillery branch. To this end, the field artillery has undertaken numerous changes to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. The HIMARS 3x9 conversion, long-range hypersonics, mid-range capability, reassignment of the direct support field artillery battalions, and numerous other munitions projects, just to name a few. During your tenure here, you also served as the acting commanding general. And we thank you and Katie for your steadfast leadership during that time. A job well done. The same as Kurt and Kim, we're sad to see you and Katie depart, but we're excited to see what the Army has in store for you back at the Pentagon, and I know you'll fix all the challenges. You were the right man for the job at the right time, and Lori and I wish you all the best. Now, both of you can rest assured that you did your part to provide our warfighters of today and tomorrow with the best available. And our Army and our nation are better off because of your leadership here the last 2 years. Your hard work and dedication will reverberate for decades to come. And Fires 50, number 45, Mr. Mayor, tells us that life is more fun with great teammates alive in Fort Sill. Again, farewell, and we'll see you again to the King and Morgan families. This will defend Fire Strong. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Shane Morgan.
Good afternoon. Up front, I was going to thank the professionals that you see in front of you and everybody that works so doggone hard to make ceremonies like this for professionals. The commanding general already did it, but just know from our foxhole, we really appreciate it. This is the first class event and a wonderful installation. So there's never been a more exciting or a more relevant time to be a red leg. And I'll pivot off these respect. When I began writing my remarks, I quickly concluded it was not really all the things that General Brooks just described, and they're all true and it's all exciting. It's not the change we're driving or the historic transformation. Everything we've done, we're doing, and will continue to do remains directly linked to the secret sauce, if you will. That's our people. Our soldiers, our families, our civilians, and our friends, many of which, all of which are gathered here today. And I'm duty-bound, I feel compelled to thank the people who make Team Lot Fort Sill, in the words of our nation's very best mayor, some kind of wonderful. And so to thank you to Mayor Stan Booker and Mr. Mike Brown, the Army's best CASA, and to Craig and Janie Billingsley and Colonel Retired Nate Slate, Mr. Kelly Harris, Mr. Karen Bailey, and all of our Frontier friends. Your selfless commitments, your genuine care, and your valued friendships matter the most to KDB and my family. To our Commanding General, General Brooks and Lori, thank you for a culture of excellence and a climate of care. We've learned from you, we admire your energy, and we've had fun while serving under your command. And to Command Sergeant Major Paul Sartain, know they can't be here today. Great teammates. To Mr. Gallagher and Lou. To Colonel Mike, our chief, and Carrie Bearfield. To Doc Peterson. To Mrs. Amy Bryn. Miss Colette. Brenda Mosier. Major O'Connor, Captain Shooty. Hey, thank you for the past 2 years, and as the CG alluded to, for a nearly 6-month period where you answered a lot of my questions, and I had a lot. I'm very thankful to have been on your team. To the LRPF and the professionals who make the field artillery better each and every day. To Rory Crooks and Ben Looper and crew. You guys are awesome Red Leg teammates, focused on continued FA dominance and ensuring that we never fight a fair fight. Please sustain the momentum that you've gained. To Dot D and Colonel Jason Tolbert, keeping the field artillery set ready for LISCO. FM 360 targeting, FM 309, cannon battery, correction, fire support, and field artillery operations. Awesome. Proud of you and your team. To Seated, the strongest hand you can play when you have 2 mats and a jack. For your laser focus on modernization initiatives, turning concepts into requirements, and requirements into resources, and resources into lethal capabilities, which means we're dominant on the battlefield for our Red Legs. To all the FA ACMs, if you will, and our CSL selected colonels, Kirk Yunker, Elliot Harris, Mike English, and John Wheelahan, thanks for your efforts for the Fight Tonight force, and certainly the future force. Your contributions to the fielded force, we can never lose sight of their close fight and the help we provide them. What you do really matters. To AMTC and Colonel Dave Lee, thanks for delaying your retirement. No bigger fan than me. We found out Dave would get 31 years as a seasoned Red Leg on our team. Unmatched experience, incredible. Keep closing those LISCO targeting gaps. To the FA Brigade Command Teams, the Destroyer Brigade, Colonel Mike Stewart, Sergeant Major Kelsey, turning civilians into American soldiers. What an outstanding mission. Tremendous respect for you and your command. To the Cornerstone Brigade, Colonel Vic Sharstein and CSM Obermueller for teaching, coaching, and training our talented Red Legs and making all of us better. Remember, please, everyone, instructors are our pacing items. Keep fighting for talent. And the best Red Leg competition was 0 mil awesome. Historic event. I was proud. I watched from overseas. The 75th Diamond Brigade, FA Diamond Colonel Steve Walker and Sergeant Major Bamba, our FORCECOM unit with more field artillery firepower than any other nation, let alone every brigade in the Army. Stay tough as diamonds. To Colonel Jared Stottenborough and Sergeant Major Studer, the Marine Detachment, the MARDET, the Semper Fi, and respect to you and your Red Legs. To the NCO Academy with Sergeant Majors DeVoe and Alcedo, thanks for strengthening our Red Leg backbone. Our NCO Corps is the strength of our Army, and every other nation around the world recognizes this. Fort Sill Garrison, Colonel Jim and Heather P., Sergeant Major Pearson and Miss Julie Sevilla, and of course Lieutenant Colonel Mike King and our DES professionals. Tremendous respect for making frontier living fun, safe, and better. You're not thanked nearly enough for all you do, but just know what you do matters. same can be said for our SGA leaders and our MedAC and our DENTAC professionals, our teammates who demonstrate genuine care for soldiers and families daily. And to Miss Rachel Smith from the Red Lake Senior Mentors of the FA Association, the things you do, Fire Symposium, podcasts, St. Barbara's program, FA Hall of Fame, the store, world-class initiatives and events, thank you. To our dedicated civilian workforce, in the name of few, Glenn Waters, Greg DeHoo, Deborah Porter, Sarah Gersberg, to name just a few, you and your workforce, you are the glue, you know the backstory, you are the continuity to all progress, where we've been, where we are, and where we need to go. Thank you. To the public affairs professionals, thanks and keep pressing, because the field artillery, the air defense artillery, and the fire center, we have a story to tell. To FMWR, thanks for organizing fun and family-friendly events. Ethan, keep being creative. Hey, to the 80A branch, under the leadership of Kurt King, Sergeant Major Macri, Pat Costello, Mike Simile, Bill Parker, Ryan Schrock, and Tony Dedman. I have tremendous respect for what you and your branch delivers, and only you deliver. And Kurt, thanks again for fielding and answering questions during our press conference. You trained me well, but I'm not at your level, so I appreciate you doing that. That was good. Thanks, 80A, first to fire. Okay, lastly, or second lastly, our Field Artillery Commandant team. Command Sergeant Major Paul Fluharty, absolutely the best. A soldier's soldier, and I must say it, a future Division Command Sergeant Major. Colonel Derek Baird and Mr. Mike Dooley, our Assistant Commandant and our Deputy Commandant. When you pair them together, they're AC/DC. Derek will soon be an awesome garrison commander right here, and there is no question Mr. Dooley is a living legend. And to our Warrant Officer of the branch, CW5 Roland Rios, a targeting expert with 38 years of service in the field artillery. Another legend. Hey, thanks, teammates. A few more names. Command Sergeant Major McMurdy, Rich Ingleby, Drew Roberts, Jim Marshall, Jacob Cash, James Smith, Staff Sergeant Hughes. Front office folks that keep us straight right here. Miss Diana Boyd, Mrs. Jennifer Greenwood, Mrs. Judy Oman, Mr. Jason Fry, our Master Gunner, Mr. Brian Kiefer. Seriously, you guys are awesome. FAPO under Jeff Wright, Corey Bryce, and Command Sergeant Major Buchko's leadership. And Dooley's Dozen from the LR FAT under Joey Coeys and the Master Sergeant Eric Cruz leadership. All incredible teammates that are out there doing everything that General Brooks described earlier. And finally to my family, Katie, Brendan, Briella, Bridget, and Foster. Your love and your sacrifice allow me to continue to be a soldier, my passion. But there is nothing that makes me prouder than being Katie's husband and a father of 4 awesome kids. Wow, we made family memories and lifelong friends here. It is a bittersweet departure, but it's been a great ride. We look forward to our next assignment with a pit stop on leave to the great state of Maine. Katie, I love you and I respect you. And thanks for being who you are. All right, we will cherish our Fort Sill memories, I promise. Unique experiences for a lifetime. We'll probably be back to the next Best Red Lake Competition Fire Symposium. You're always welcome to come visit when we're in DC. Thanks to everyone. Thanks for everything you did. King of Battle, this will defend. Rounds complete. We'll see you at the next fire. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Curtis King.
All right. I just want to go first and say, as General Brooks said up front, our tribal teammates here, that was great. That was really awesome. I'm really glad you didn't ask me to sing anything for everybody here. But, it's really special. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Fire Strong and First to Fire. I'll say first that Kim and I are really humbled to be here today along with our great teammates, Team Morgan, and their families. So many of our distinguished visitors, distinguished leaders, our fellow soldiers, and our friends that are here in this room. And I think we can all say we're thankful for this ceremony this afternoon and not this morning during the monsoon that we had. So it's great the weather opened up for us. General Brooks, thanks to you and the board that you all provide. It's a privilege to serve here as your deputy here. It has been a pleasure and it's been a true honor in my career to be able to hold this position and work with this great army and our great command. And as said earlier, making this ceremony, the team that makes the ceremony possible, Colonel Brooks, Colonel Morgan will talk about it, but the protocol, the band, salute battery, the honor guard, public affairs. You all do a great job every time. We tell you that every time. And I'll spill the Fires 50 quote number 33. It's because you're professionals and you always excel in your team great. So thank you all for everything you do. So I thought about what I'd say today, and I think I got about 2.5 minutes left. I figure I can get about 30 Fires 50 quotes in about 2.5 minutes. But, I had another quote I was going to use, and the bad thing about going last is the other two general officers already hit my quote. But actually, what I felt was more appropriate was to go to the quote that has been used. It really says we've got this team law in Fort Sill. And Kim and I have never served here at Fort Sill before. We've been here TDY, but we never served here before in this community. And this community welcomed us in, both here at Fort Sill and within the broader community. We made us a part of that. And also, the community provides exceptional support to our soldiers, to their families, and to the nation. So Mayor Booker, my quote for the last 2 years, again, has been some kind of wonderful. And what I will say is that some kind of wonderful is made part by the civilian leaders that you see here, by the community members that you see here, by the soldiers on the posts, and especially also by the garrison staff, by the EFCO staff. This community comes together, and I've served in many places. I've never seen such a community come together for the benefit of each other to make something better, to make something wonderful. So to the whole community and to everyone involved in that, thank you for everything you do. What I'll tell you is do things positive difference every day in the lives of those around you, especially in the lives of our soldiers and their families. So now, the Air Defense team and the entire First and Fire team. When I look back over the snapshot of the last 2 years, wow, you all continue to roll hard, enabling our soldiers to fight and win on today and on tomorrow's battlefield. And if Air Defense maintains the highest operational employment rate in our Army and continues the most significant transformation since World War II, the teams across EFCO comprised of seated, DOT, AMDCSB, 38th Rated Canadian Brigade, EFCO staff, Commandant's office, our counterparts on the field artillery side, all of you all enable success. General Brooks talked a lot about all the actions that are going on. It is tremendous when you look at the amount of transformation that's happening with the forces that we're building. In terms of units to our divisional Army, giving capability back. It looks at the IBCS weapon system that we're building to provide capability across the globe. Tremendous efforts that you all are doing. And if that wasn't enough, last year, with only a few short weeks of notice, this team implemented a plan to train our Ukrainian counterparts. And they did this to train them on the most advanced air missile defense weapon system in the world, and to go fight Russians in their country. And they did that well. You've seen the news, they did that well, and those Ukrainian counterparts have been using those capabilities that our soldiers right here at Fort Sill train them on in their nation. And then, additionally, on top of all that, the EFCO team and ADA team had the great pleasure of standing up the Joint Counter Small UAS University to train the Joint Force, going from PowerPoint to conducting classes in about 12 months. And any of you in the Army know, it's on PowerPoint, it's got to happen, it's going to happen, but it takes a lot to get there. And I'll tell you what, the team here is really led by Mr. Gallagher, Mr. Simile, the Garrison team, and then the ADA team, and now the JCU team has done a tremendous effort. The JCU team, you all, are enabling our soldiers, our airmen, our sailors and Marines, and our guardians to fight against a very deadly and a rapidly changing threat. And you're doing it well, and you've done it very quickly. Thank you. Both teams are truly amazing. What you do, thank you for that. Continue to drive change that will enable the Army and the Joint Force to fight and win on the battlefield. So, all right, I've reached my time limit. My wife told me to be quick. She told me to get back to the house so I can pack some boxes. And that's what you get after 26 years of what? I gotta go pack some boxes. So, but to Kim and their family, love you and couldn't do this without you. Thank you very much for everything that you do. And in closing, life is truly better with great teammates. And the team here, the team off the court still, you all make that possible. And again, everyone, thank you for your continued support for our soldiers and for their families here at Sill. It is special what you all do. Thank you very much. First fire, fire strong. Be all you can be. I guess there's a plan for 6. Signing out.
Commanders often use retreat ceremonies to honor exemplary individuals, thus publicly recognizing their exceptionally high standards and devotion to duty. Today's retreat ceremony is in honor of Brigadier General Morgan and Brigadier General King. The bugle call, retreat, was first used by the French Army to signal the rank and file to go to their quarters and for the sentries to begin challenging all visitors. The United States Army retained the bugle call retreat to signal the end of the duty day. The bugle call, to the color, is played shortly after retreat to alert all within hearing distance that the national colors are being retired for the day and to render the appropriate honors. When and where possible, a salute gun is fired immediately after retreat, alerting all to come to the position of attention and render the hand salute as the national colors are lowered. In honor of the service members deployed in defense of our nation, the national color is displayed 24 hours a day. Following retreat, the colors will be raised again. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for retreat.
Attachment! Attention! Down! Retreat!
Please be seated. At this time, Second Lieutenant Hilliard and Corporal Bellotti of the Salute Battery are presenting Brigadier General Morgan and Brigadier General King with a canister representing the retreat round fired in their honor. Artillery March, the Army Song, and remain standing as the colors are retired from the ceremony. and gentlemen, this concludes this afternoon's retreat ceremony. Thank you for attending the King of Battle, First to Fire, Fire Strong, People First, winning matters beyond even belief.